Good day, everyone. I've getting a lot of questions on this. What is an ideal gas? And is there anything like an ideal gas? The answer is no. There is no gas that is ideal. An ideal gas is a gas that behaves ideally at one temperature and pressure. So there is no gas that is ideal. We have real gases. Hydrogen is a real gas, chlorine is a real gas, but there is no ideal gas. Like if you increase the temperature, if you decrease the pressure, if you increase the number, if you increase everything, the number of mole remains constant. So there is no gas that is actually ideal. So please take note of that. So the ideal gas law is actually the combination of three laws. For those persons who are in advanced chemistry, this part is for you. But if you are not in advanced, just hold on, I will get to your part. So it's a combination of three laws. We have the Avogadro, we have the boys, and we have the what? The shells. So when you combine these three laws together, it's going to give you what is called the ideal gas law. The ideal gas law. So an ideal gas is a combination of Boyce, Charles, and Avogadro. But please don't forget, Boyce law shows the relationship between pressure and volume. Charles shows the relationship between volume and temperature, and Avogadro volume and what? And number of mole. So ideal gas law shows the relationship between these three. Shows the relationship between these three, which is the pressure, the volume, the number of mole, and the what? The temperature. So this R here represents the universal gas constant. The universal what? We call it the universal gas constant. So it's a constant, like we have constant for Boy, which is K, constant for Charles, which is K. The constant for an ideal gas is what? Is R. So how do we get the value for this constant? So let me show you something. Let's make R the subject of formula. So I will divide both sides by what? NT. I will divide both sides by NT. So right. So I will say R is equal to PV all over what? NT. What is our constant pressure? Is 1 atm, right? Our volume is a 22.4 dm cube. That's the constant volume, and our number of mole is 1 mole, and our number of the temperature constant is 273 what? Kelvin. So if you punch your calculator, if you press 1 times 22.4 divided by 273 times 1 is equals to, what I have there is 0.082. So we have atm, dm cube, I'm talking about the unit now, dm cube, all over mole, which is per mole, all over Kelvin, per Kelvin. So that is exactly what you have here. So I'm just showing the derivation of how they got this universal gas constant. So if you have a question like this in your exam, which I feel like it is actually difficult for JAMB to set a question like this for you, but very, very easy for WAEC to set questions like this for you. This is how you solve, and this is where you get your answer. Now, this is where JAMB now comes in. They will ask you to calculate the number of mole present in a certain. Now listen, let me show you something like what I always say. I'm a very lazy student, very, very lazy. So I will teach you how to get the answer even without you calculating. Now, your answer must be less than 1. Either, let's say it must be less than 1, or let's say equals to or less than 1. So anything that is equals to or less than 1 will be the correct answer since you are calculating the number of mole. Because this is an ideal gas equation. An ideal gas equation states that if you increase the temperature, decrease the temperature, increase the number of mole, decrease all anything you want to do, the answer must be equals to what? To 1. But like what I said, there is nothing like an ideal gas. So the answer is usually 1 or lesser than 1. You cannot even see 1, so you always see an answer that is lesser than 1. So for example, let's say option A, we have 2.0, option B, we have 3.0, option C, we have 5.0, option C, we have 0.8 or 0.1 or 0. It cannot be 0.1 actually. So let's say 0.5 upward or 0.6 to 0.8. The answer will be 0.8 because 0.8 is less than 1 or equals to 1, and it is greater than the major thing is that if you round this up, will it be up to 1? The answer is yes. So if you have 0.89, yes, equals to 1, right? 0.5 equals to 1, 0.54 equals to 1, 0.45. If you round this up, it is not equals to 1. This, which is you are going to round this, is not up to 5, so it cannot be equals to 1. So this can never be our answer. This value here cannot. I'm talking to a JAMB student. So if you are a JAMBite and you have a question like this in your exam, look for the answer that is usually 1.0, 0.9, 0.8, 0.7, 0.6. You barely see 0.5. So that would be your answer. Now let's just solve and see if my prediction is actually correct. I'm not saying it can only work for this equation that is 0. I'm saying it will work for any question at all that is on ideal gas that you are told to calculate the number of mole that is present. So assuming you are calculating something that is different from the number of mole is a different ball game entirely. But as long as what you are calculating is the number of mole present in a certain mass of a gas, the answer must be equal or less than what? 0.1. So that means the answer will not even, it will be between 0.1 to 0.5. Anything that is not in this value is already out of the game. So let's calculate. The formula is, let's show the question. Calculate the number of mole, which is n. N is unknown. Yes, present in a certain mass of a gas occupying the volume is 6.5 what? dm cube at, then the pressure is what? 3 atm, and the temperature is 15 degrees Celsius. Like what I said, you have to convert to a temperature in Kelvin by adding 273. If you add 273 to it, you have 288 what? Kelvin. You just want to convert to Kelvin. That's it. So I will say PV equals nRT. What are we calculating for? N. As long as we are calculating for N, I will say my N is equals to PV all over what? RT. Right? It's just for me to move this to here, move it to the bottom. So what is my pressure? My pressure is 3. My volume is 6.5 all over my universal gas constant 0.082 times what is my temperature? My temperature is 288. Let me use my calculator. I have 3 times 6.5 divided by 0.082 times 288. Close the bracket. Okay, then our answer is equal to 0.83. That's the answer. We have 0.83. So is it between this value here? Yes, it is correct. Now someone will not say, sir, what if I change this place to 1 million? Now the truth is that chemistry questions are not like your regular question that you can just come in, just put in any value and they start calculating. No, chemistry questions are usually experimented. That's why Gido Academy is always there to predict the correct answer even without calculating. So they are experimented questions. So just as if you know that if you run too fast, you will definitely fall. So that is just it. There is no other way to go about it. So chemistry questions are usually experimented. They are not theoretical questions that 1 + 1 is equal to 2. No, they are usually experimented. And because chemistry questions are experimented, it is very, very easy for us to detect if the temperature increases, it will lead to decrease in volume, or if its volume increases, it will lead to increase in number of mole, or if the pressure increases, it will lead to increase in temperature. All of this is actually experimented work. That is why chemistry is very, very easy and also very, very easy to predict. If this is the first time of you seeing Gido Academy, please smash that subscription button because there are a lot of things you are going to learn from my YouTube channel. Thank you very much. I hope to see you in the next episode. But for now, goodbye.